Your production database goes down at 2 a.m. on a Friday. 500,000 users are offline. Slack is a wall of red. And the on-call engineer who has carried the system for 18 months is the first person everyone looks at. Here is the question that separates good engineering organizations from great ones. What happens next? Not in the next 20 minutes. In the next 20 days, after the fire is out, the post-mortem is filed, and everyone returns to the sprint. That quiet moment after the chaos is where your engineering culture is either built or quietly destroyed. Today, I want to show you how to run post-mortems that do not just document failure. They turn failure into resilience. Let me start with what a bad post-mortem looks like. The incident happens. Someone writes a timeline in Confluence. The root cause says, "Engineer misconfigured the load balancer." An action item gets assigned to that engineer. It sits in Jira for 6 weeks. Nobody follows up. 4 months later, the same failure mode appears again. Slightly different shape. Same underlying cause. That is not a post-mortem. That is a blame document with a deadline. The goal is never to find who broke it. The goal is to find what made it breakable. Blameless does not mean consequence-free. It means separating the system failure from the individual. Every engineer involved made the best decision they could with the information, tooling, and pressure they had at the time. If that decision caused harm, the system put them in a position where harm was possible. Fix the system. Leaders set this norm in the room. The first time someone asks, "Who deployed this?" without being redirected, the culture starts to crack. Redirect it immediately. What conditions made this deployment dangerous? That is what we are solving for. And make psychological safety measurable. Ask engineers directly. If you caused an incident, would you feel safe reporting it immediately? If the answer is no, your biggest reliability problem may not be technical. Next, use the 5 whys, but actually go all the way. Why did the cache fail? No load testing. Why no load testing? No release checklist. Why no checklist? Now you are getting to the real issue. Most teams stop too early because the answer becomes uncomfortable. Keep going until you reach a process, tooling, or organizational failure, not a human scapegoat. Then reconstruct the incident timeline with precision. When did the anomaly start? When was it detected? When was it escalated? When was mitigation applied? Every gap in that timeline is a gap in observability, alerting, ownership, or response. Those gaps are not trivia. They are your next investment priorities. A strong post-mortem also separates the primary cause from contributing factors. Complex systems rarely fail for one reason. They fail because several weak links line up at the wrong time. Document the chain. Every link is an intervention point. Then convert learning into action. Every post-mortem needs action items with owners, deadlines, and a review gate. Critical recurrence prevention items should outrank normal sprint work. If your roadmap cannot make room for them, your roadmap is ignoring your actual risk. Build a living incident knowledge base. Tag incidents by category: networking, data layer, deployment, vendor, human factors, observability. Over time, patterns become visible. 3 outages tied to the same vendor in 6 months may look isolated until you build the system to surface the pattern. Bring those patterns to leadership. Do not just say, "We had incidents." Say, "These 3 failure patterns cost us SLA credits, customer trust, and engineer days last quarter." That language turns reliability into a business priority. And celebrate great post-mortems publicly. Highlight engineers who surface hard truths. Document clearly and improve the system. What you celebrate, you replicate. When people see that transparency earns respect instead of blame, the culture changes. Here is the mindset shift. Every incident is expensive. The question is whether you pay for it once or keep paying interest forever. A post-mortem done right means you pay once. You extract the learning, fix the conditions that made failure possible, and build a team that is harder to break next time. A post-mortem done wrong means the same failure keeps collecting interest. The CTOs who build legendary engineering cultures are not the ones who prevent every failure. They are the ones who make the organization smarter after every failure. If this gave you something useful, subscribe and share it with a technical leader who needs it. I will see you in the next one.